He always yells. Just ignore him. You want green or red? I'll give you your pick.
I don't care. I'm just glad that I'm old. I get to sit down for 5 minutes.
Well, you look awful strong out there. Let me ask you something. First time here at Fonda Speedway, you've had a few laps out here. What do you think?
Probably one of the hardest tracks I've had to try to learn in my life. It's you know, it's cool that the NASCAR history. A bunch of guys on the NASCAR team are kind of telling me how guys used to come here years and years and years ago, and it's kind of neat to kind of hear that tradition on now. But this is definitely a challenging track, and good thing I still got halfway decent ears and hear some cars coming, and somebody that knows their way around here pretty good showed me the line there at the end of the heat race, and we figured it out. So it's good to watch good cars around here and learn a lot. It's definitely a fun place.
Here's the reigning 2011 Sprint Cup champion. I was talking to the guys from the series here. They said this is already your 15th show with them this year. What's it like to get back to your roots of racing? How does that compare with the Sprint Cup?
It's fun for me. I mean, I've been updating my my Sprint Cup crew chief, Steve Addington, who is down in the Bahamas on a beach, and he sent me a picture of the boat he was on, the beach he was on today, the beer he had been drinking, and I showed him a picture of the pit area and the body off the car. We were doing down here in the pits today, so yeah, I think he's definitely got the upper hand on the vacation, but I think I'm still having more fun than he is. Yeah. Well, you know, we got to watch the dash, and 6 really good cars in the dash there, so we got to learn a little bit about it. A couple guys are running different crews there, so just definitely got to watch it. And this is, from what I've seen so far, this track can change grooves pretty quick as far as what's fast 1 minute and what's fast another minute. So I don't think we're going to have a choice, though, in the main there. We're going to start 9th, I think, so we're going to have a long way to go, but you know, just winning the heat race tonight, that's a pretty good highlight for me. First time at a racetrack and win a heat like that from 4th was, I was pretty excited about that. We'll just take whatever the main gives us.
All right, well, I know she's over there chomping at the bit. She did a little bit of studying this week to ask you some questions. I'm going to turn around.
I don't know if I should be more nervous now or later.
She doesn't fight hard.
No, not very hard. Tony, it's really nice to have you here at Fonda Speedway. My family goes way back here at the track, so it's really nice to have you here. You mentioned a little bit about having previous NASCAR drivers here. One of your idols, you know, Bobby Allison has run here before. He's in the area. Have you talked to him at all about this place?
I haven't, actually, and unfortunately the hard part about those guys running stock cars here and us running a wing sprint car here is everything is different. So that's what makes this wing sprint car racing a lot more challenging to me, is I'm used to what that cup car feels like on the weekends, and then you go to a car that's a third of the weight, has 50 more horsepower than the cup car, and then you put a big wing on top of it, and it acts totally different than the stock car. But that's what makes it fun and challenging, and that's what I really enjoyed about running the wing sprint car this year.
Now I noticed, granted you don't know much about Fonda Speedway yet, but you're pretty good right off the rip. You're kind of taking the short way around here. Have you thought at all about maybe going up on the high side and keeping it wide open?
Yeah, I tried that after I took the checker, and it was a lot faster, so I kind of felt like I needed to put my big boy pants on and get over the racetrack there. But it's hard when you're leading. You don't really have the advantage of seeing where everybody else is at behind you. We got an early lead there, and then, you know, obviously it was getting run down, but I can't see it until they got close enough for me to hear that somebody was back there. And you know, in these cars, they aren't following you if they're close enough that you can hear them like that. So definitely tried it when we took the second year, tried it, and felt a lot better on the top. Like I say, start 9th, we're going to have to go in spots that the other guys in front of us aren't. So we'll have to try to make it as versatile as we can. We're going to have to go to the bottom some laps and the top some laps and try to get through traffic. So we'll do the best we can.
Absolutely. Now, I'll give you a little hint. There used to be a guy that ran here. He's got 113 feature wins here, my dad, and he won most of his races here on high side. So I'd really like to see you get up there and try that high side just one time.
I'm a lot better on the top normally than I am on the bottom, so... I don't know what you guys are thinking there. That's not exactly what I was thinking, but I think...
racing here, folks.
I'm still going to stand in my comment. I'm still better on the top than the bottom, no matter what.
Now, you and I have a friend in common, Bones Bouchard,
Yes,
and
yes.
I had called him yesterday and spoke to him about, you know, what I could swing at you, what I couldn't swing at you, what I should ask, what I shouldn't ask. I've been to the Chili Bowl, the first Chili Bowl that I went to, you won, and And I remember you remarked when you won about the people in turn 4 giving you the finger every time you went by.
I seem to get motivated by people that tell me I'm number 1 with a different finger than what I'm used to seeing. So that normally motivates me real well. So when we won the Chili Bowl that first year, there was a section, or a small group in the section in turn 4 that kept telling me they wanted somebody else to win, and that was a lot of motivation to stay where we were at.
Now, it's probably a silly question, but are you going to go to Chili Bowl in January?
Yes, I'm planning on it again. I've actually built a car that we took there this past year that was actually a 1995 chassis that was a brand new car that we had. The guy that owned Stealth Chassis, who won the national championship in '95, had to build us a car just like that. We've been running the Chevy midget engine that they kind of got developed, and then they kind of backed off the program for a little bit and then picked it up right before Chili Bowl again, and they got that motor a lot better now. So we've got that new Chevy midget engine in the car, and we're actually trying to find some dates where we can go test in Indiana with that car before we go back to Chili Bowl. I wasn't very good this year, so we're definitely going to have to practice with that thing. But if you've never been to the Chili Bowl, you got to go. It's probably one of the best 7-day parties you will ever go to in your life, and watch some great racing at the same time.
Absolutely. Now, you're mentioning that Chevy engine, that Chevy motor. A lot of Esslingers are out there. Is that how you say it? What is Esslinger?
Esslinger.
Esslinger. What
It
is
just depends on what part of the country
Right,
or
exactly.
how you pronounce it.
How different is the Chevy from that motor?
It's quite a bit different. It's the Esslinger is actually built off of the Ford Focus or Ford Escort or Fusion or something. So it was a Ford engine originally, and then Chevy actually decided to start from scratch with the new engine, and it has got a lot of power. We're still sorting some bugs in it. When they get that thing fine-tuned, it's going to be awesome.
Ooh, now you ran Brewerton last night. I believe you got Ford,
Yeah.
right? And you won Lernerville. So what was that like? And now you're here at Fonda Speedway. I mean, you're kind of running, what, 9 nights in a row or something like that?
Yeah, we've got 5 this week, and I'm trying to talk them into 6. I don't know if I'm going to be successful. These guys have been on the road a lot, and I always say I won, and when I crash, it's we crashed. But the crew guys have had to build a couple cars after I crashed 2 cars last week. So we crashed at Dave Blaney's track in Sharon and crashed one at Eldora last Friday. So they've been really busy building cars, and these guys have their tongues coming out from driving. So it's a pretty hectic schedule, but it's fun. I mean, like I say, there's a lot of guys that went on vacations this week, and we pulled into where were we last night again? We pulled into the hotel at 6:45 in the morning, and I drove straight through all night in the truck. So it was pretty fun. I kind of like doing that all night road trip deal. So it's been a lot of fun this week. This is probably like a dream vacation for me. Anytime I get to run a sprint car 5 nights in a row, there's no vacation paid for, and the amount of alcohol and enough white sand to keep me.
You know, and I think it's pretty familiar with a lot of folks here. When they think of vacation, they don't think of a beach. They think of following a racer or following races or the NASCAR circuit. Is there any track that you've run? You've run so many tracks. Is there any tracks that compare to a place like this? I mean, you got the river along the backstretch. Has that intimidated you at all? Have you thought at all about maybe taking a swim here at Fonda Speedway?
I'm too old to swim for very long.
Uh-oh, familiar mic troubles here. No, here.
I'll trade you. No, actually, I know about the river back there. I thought it was probably best if I didn't look through the trees to see what it looked like back there. I figure it's kind of like a football game. If you just stay in bounds all the time, it seems like it works out a lot better. So I just tried to stay in the right spot here. Well, you know, we pulled in. Actually, we kind of messed up when we pulled in here because we didn't know where the pit gate was, and the gate, turn 1 and 2 was open, and we just turned right on the gate, right on the racetrack. And I was like, I don't think this is how we were supposed to come in this place, but it's pretty intimidating. I mean, the fun part is being in the pits and listening to people that have been here for years, drivers that have been here for years. And you know, we used to go to Manzanita Speedway in Arizona, and they always joked about the junkyard that's off in turn 3 and 4, and the veteran drivers told you to put dog bones in your pockets. And everybody goes, well, why did you do that? Because they got watchdogs there, and if you got in there, they said you should give them bones. Kind of like paying a toll, you get out without getting bit. So I guess we were kind of, Danny Smith was here tonight. Him and I both of our first times here. He goes, "You think we need to just start putting snorkels in the car with us in case we get off the backstretch?" So I don't know. It's a neat track. I mean, like I said, it's pretty challenging. What I had seen on videos, and then when we got here and went around it on the four-wheeler, it was totally different than what I'd seen in the past. So it's kind of neat to see and kind of move around and figure out how to get around here. And it's definitely a momentum track for sure. So it's fun to try to pick your way through and figure out how to get around it.
Check, check. All right, it's working. How fast did that fourth turn wall come up on you?
Luckily, they said, everybody kept saying, don't try to run through 4 as quick as you run through 3. So I was in the third hot lap group, and I got to watch those guys. So I definitely got to see the warning signs of that. But it definitely comes up very, very fast. And I'm sure if you get too wide, then it sneaks up really quick.
Just a couple more questions, and we'll let you go to run your feature. Eldora, tell us a little bit about what you got going on this year.
Yeah, we just finished up our King's Royal last weekend, and Sammy Swindell won it for $50,000, and probably one of the best King's Royals I've seen. I couldn't believe the weather in the Midwest has been so brutal and dry. I think it's been dry everywhere. I think you guys are kind of battling it too, but it was 100 degrees there, and we had people camping in tents all week, which I couldn't camp in a tent when it was 80 degrees out if I didn't have an air conditioner plug inside of it. So it was just amazing to see how many people we had. We hired a guy from the Northeast that kind of moved down to the South for a while, Roger Slack, who worked under Humpy Wheeler, and he's a big promoter up in the Northeast here, and we got him on board now, and it's neat to see everything that he's done. He's really made a big impact this year.
Now, before you go, what do you think about all these fans? I mean, look at this. This is a local track for us, you know?
Not many racetracks that you see covered awnings anymore, and you definitely can't feel the history of this place, but it's pretty cool. You can see them all every time we come off of turn 4. On the cautions, we can see everybody down through here the way the front straightaway is laid out. So it's definitely a cool place. Definitely look forward to coming back here again and doing this.
Well, sure. I just want to give a little plug. See that number 4 up there that says Bulazaro?
Yep.
That's my dad. So I just got to give a little plug to my dad.
So how many features do I have to win to get my number up there now?
Oh gosh, I don't know. Well, Jack Johnson's got 149. So if you think you can beat that, I encourage you to try.
Jack was actually my teammate a couple years. Well, it's been more than a couple years ago. I'm dating myself. I drove a small block modified big block for Brian Goey, so I got to have Jack as a teammate and talk about learning a lot in a short amount of time. And you got Jack as your teammate, you learn very, very quickly what to do and what not to do. And he's pretty fair in a big block modified. He does not win races.
Definitely. And Jack, I'm sure I'm not alone here when I say that we all love Jack and we have a lot of respect for Jack Johnson. He's here every week. He's not in a race car. He's here supporting Nani. And we really love that guy. And we wish he could get back in a race car, but we wish him well. So, Marty's screaming here. What else is new?
Tony, I just have one question in front of all the fans. What are you doing next Thursday night? How about coming back for the late models?
I'd love to. I've been running. I ran some World Outlaw late model races. I almost won a race at Eldora, and I crashed with Chuck Frank, and I thought I was going to get one of the biggest fist fights of my life with him. So, and he's not really a guy that I didn't think my odds of winning that fight were going to be very good. So I was glad to get out there. But we actually got the Brickyard coming up next week, so we got a big week planned, and unfortunately, it's back to reality and back to that full-time job. I got a bunch of sponsor obligations all week, so that's why I'm getting all the fun in I can get this week before we head back to Indy.
Good man.
All right, Tony, want to give one last thank you to the fans?
Yeah.
And we'll send you out of here?
Absolutely. I know there's a lot of you guys that have been on it before.